this debate's esteemed judges, Justice Sri Krishna, my colleagues from England, the chairs, Gautam and Shyam, ladies and gentlemen. The reason aspiring Indian international arbitration practitioners should first work overseas is summed up in one incident that occurred over 10 years ago upon my relocation to London. I left behind 6 years of practice at the Bombay High Court, feeling appreciated and elated. I was told, and therefore I believed, that my drafting skills were excellent, until I submitted my first piece of work to the head of the litigation department at Flaggate LLP, who looked down and he looked up at me and said, "Karishma, this is not even English." And there it began. I had to unlearn every language skill, every drafting skill, every soft skill that I had ever known in the Indian system and relearn it another way. There are many reasons that one needs to first work in a foreign jurisdiction, and thankfully not all of them involve an ego-crushing experience such as this. Some of the reasons include improved communication and soft skills, and it's interesting that my friend suggests that soft skills can be learned sitting at the same place that they grew up. In terms of improved language skills, I learned a number of things. For example, it is not a plaint, it is a claim. It is not inter alia, it is amongst other things. There is no such word as unfructose. I haven't, by the way, found an English equivalent for that. At work, it is not a tiffin, it is certainly not a dabba. It's lunch. I've brought my lunch, not even lunchbox. I do not say I stay in Clapham, I live in Clapham. I do not say and submit various arguments, I just get on with the arguments. And it's not just making one's language precise that one learns when going overseas, but also the development of soft skills. One example is that when I address my clerks in London, I say, "David, if you don't mind, when you have a moment, can you please do me a favor and please put some paper in the printer." I tried this in India and I said, "Arun, अगर आपको जब समय मिलेगा तब अगर इतराज नहीं है तो थोड़ा पेपर आप प्लीज प्रिंटर में डालेंगी?" He looked at me dumbfounded and he said, "Madam, आपको सिर्फ बोलना है, पेपर लगाओ." Can you imagine the day that I land in London or the day when I come back to Mumbai, the unwiring that needs to go on in my brain? The second reason that Indian international arbitration practitioners should first work abroad is the art of cross-examination. We've discussed that this morning, and it's a serious topic. I had a great deal of application experience when I moved to London, but the Bombay High Court, or the city actually of Mumbai, is not great for civil commercial law practitioners to hone their skills in cross-examination. And therefore, one of my first requests to my clerks in England was, "Please, can you give me some cross-examination experience?" Now, in England as well, as a busy commercial law practitioner, one might go to court once or maybe twice a month. And so cross-examination experience in the commercial arena was difficult to come by. I therefore was made standing counsel for the Immigration Tribunal, for the Home Office at the Immigration Tribunals. And I did about 150 trials in the first about 1.5 to 2 years of my practice. And although this doesn't appear on my CV because I never intended to be an immigration specialist, the cross-examination experience has really held me in good stead. The recent Indian cases in London involve 3 to 4 parallel proceedings. The first tends to be a civil fraud proceeding, which involves my going off to the High Court and applying for a worldwide freezing injunction. The same individual may also be faced with extradition proceedings, which are criminal proceedings. The third is an application for asylum, and this is again where my immigration experience came in. The economic fugitive may make an application for asylum on grounds of political persecution. It's a strictly confidential hearing, and one may only find out at the time that the person is to be deported, when the Home Office may come and intervene and say, "You cannot deport this person because their asylum application is either ongoing or has been granted." In the same vein, I would like to touch upon a very sensitive issue that a legal conference based in Delhi today ought to mention, and that is the CAA. It has been a sad few days for Delhi, and I think all of us in the room, our hearts go out to those who have lost their lives. Without taking the politics out of it, if I may only just focus on the legal issues concerning asylum applications, making an application for one in the United Kingdom involves 2 rounds of interviews and an application to the Home Office, which, if rejected on paper, converts to a trial where, once again, through the art of cross-examination, the asylum seeker's truth and veracity is rigorously tested. If it emerges that the seeker wishes to move to the UK for economic benefits or opportunity, that is a reason for rejecting asylum. The individual must prove that there is a risk of prosecution or physical harm upon their return to the country and to the whole of their country. So, for example, if they moved from Delhi to the UK, they should also be able to prove that if they were sent back to Chennai, they would face the same risk in Chennai. India has been an emigrating country, and I hope that the troubles that we have seen with this immigration policy will soon be smoothened out. And in vain of the motion, I would say, if only those for and against the CAA had first worked overseas, they would have had a better understanding of asylum laws and would have been more able to make up their mind about whether or not to fight. The last is working with technology. This is one of my favorite reasons for working abroad. Well, in that case, I will conclude, and I will discuss the benefits of technology with some of you after the debate is over. In conclusion,
sorry, we have no problem with the extension. We are so sure that that's fine. Please give it all the time. We want to try to convince you.
Well,
yes.
So in conclusion, in the words of Mark Antony from Julius Caesar, there comes a tide in the affairs of men, which, if taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. The tide, members of the House, is in favor of international arbitration. So ride the tide, go overseas, and build your experience and expertise abroad.